Hi everyone, this is Evan with Kamloops Trout, and tonight I'm going to be sharing with you all the Popsicle Booby, a very productive attractor pattern here on the interior still waters of BC. It works great when the fish are not being very cooperative, so tie some up, try them out. We'll get started right away tying in some Spey Popsicle Marabou in chartreuse. This stuff breathes really well, makes great material for some nice action on those tails when you're stripping these through the water. And I'll just follow through with some hot pink in the Spey Popsicle Marabou as well. And I'm just tying on a size 9 Alec Jackson's crystal finish covert nymph hook. Nice strong hooks, and I really like using them for these boobies. So we're not tying back too far with the tails, and I'll just break that off so that it's not too long. I like to keep my booby tails fairly short. And we're just going to do one more pinch of some of the chartreuse marabou just to give it a bit more of a multicolored look in that tail. Blend those two colors together really well so they don't look like they're separated so much, more just blend them in. And third here, my next materials, I've got strands of crystal flash in fluorescent chartreuse and fluorescent pink, and I also have one strand in there of mirage tinsel. So I'm just going to tie those down into one side of the tail and then fold them back and put the other half down to the other side of the tail and trim them to the length of the tail there, or just a hair longer. And I like to put a few wraps in behind that tail just to push it up. I don't like my tails pushed down too much. And keep it away from the hook as well. So one thing worth mentioning is I'm using UTC 70. UTC 140 would be a much better choice, but I didn't have any in this color. But it makes for some really tight wraps. So we're just trying to pinch those booby eyes and separate them in the middle as much as we can so we can really cinch those down. And that's where the 140 comes in handy real well. This stuff breaks real good if you want to pull on it real hard. So I'm just doing some figure eights and wrapping back and forth, trying to lock those in as best I can. It doesn't hurt to put in some UV resin as well there. So finally, our last material, this fly, I'm just tying in some dyed UV polar chenille, and that's in some UV chartreuse and the UV fluorescent fuchsia. Some nice real bright popsicle colors for this. And again, I'm just trying to push that tail up because when you wrap forward with the chenille, it may want to try and pull that tail down a little bit. So we'll just do a few more wraps around those eyes and cut the thread out there. And finally, we're just going to wrap forward now with our UV polar chenille and try to hold those strands apart so that you're not wrapping one over the other. We want to see the different colors shine through there. And then I'll just do a couple wraps around those booby eyes to real lock them in and pull real tight, give it nice strength there. And I just do a half hitch in front of the booby eyes and pull back as tight as you can. It really cinches her in. And it doesn't hurt to do one more in behind the booby eyes if you like. I always use a little bit of thin UV resin in here around these knots just so that they hold and don't come apart while you're fishing them out on the lake. And it does make for a fairly durable fly that'll last quite a few fish. So just trim out any strands that you don't like if you want to shape it however you like it. And just put in some more UV resin there. And I hope if you get out on the lakes and try this out that it's productive for you, because it's been pretty good for us this year. One particular lake, they didn't want much of anything, but this was the one fly that was performing the best for us and getting us into some fish while they're being pretty uncooperative. So thanks for watching. Check us out on www.kamloopstrout.net, and we'll see you later. Thanks.